Hi, it's Miss Dolores, back again from Baldwin Borough Public Library. I'm here to read you two more chapters of The Bad Guys, Mission Unpluckable, in a different part of my house today. Basically, I record anywhere in my house where the sunshine is coming in the room. So I might be in my bedroom, my living room, today's my kitchen. So just different parts. I love sunshine, and I bet you do too. Hope you are able to get outside on this gorgeous day and enjoy some of the sunshine. So there's two more chapters. We left off in chapter 6. Remember, they're trying to rescue 10,000 chickens from the chicken farm, and they have a plan. And right now, Mr. Piranha is inside the sandwich. Do you remember when he went down inside the sandwich? So let's see what happens. Okay, this book, The Bad Guys, is written by Aaron Blabey and published by Scholastic Books, and we thank them for permitting us to read this book today. All right, are you ready? So I'm going to read, and then I will show you the pictures. It's just easier that way, and it's probably easier for you too. Okay, chapter 7. Trust me. I'm a snake. Do you remember what the snake wants to do? Do you remember? Yeah, you're right. Eat all the chickens. All right, remember that. All right, so now Mr. Wolf and Mr. Snake have to get through the laser beams. Mr. Wolf says, "Oh no, look at those laser beams. I'll never get through there." And he said, "I think we have a problem." All right, there's the laser beams. Look how scared he looks. And there's Mr. Snake, and you know that all he wants to do is get to the chickens. So Mr. Snake says, "Oh, no. There's no problem at all. I'll fit through those lasers. Yeah, I'll just have to handle this alone." Why do you think he wants to handle it alone? Because he wants to eat the chickens. And Mr. Wolf says, "Are you sure?" And he says, "Oh, absolutely. I'll just wiggle my way across and I'll have a chicken feast. I mean, I'll get those chickens released." Yes, that's what I meant to say, released. And Mr. Wolf says, "But you'll switch off the lasers once you get across, right?" And he says, yeah, sure." And he says, "Mr. Snake? Uh-huh. This is your moment to do something good. Yup. I'm counting on you, buddy. Okie dokie." Do you think he's going to keep his word? Do you think he's going to not eat the chickens? What do you think? And Mr. Wolf says, "Go be a hero, Mr. Snake." So he starts wiggling all through the laser beams, and he's almost there, and Mr. Wolf is like, "Just a little further," and then he's like, "Ha!" And he gets to the other side. Look, he did it. He got through all those laser beams, and now he's out on the other side. It's his chance to do good. You think he's going to do good? Mr. Wolf says, "You made it. You are amazing. Now, just switch off the lasers so I can get across." And Mr. Snake says, "Sure. Just give me a few minutes to flip that switch." Uh-oh, what do you think he's going to do? And Mr. Wolf says, "You take your time, little buddy, because you rock. I'm just so proud of these guys." Jeez, it's been 15 minutes. Hey, are you okay over there, Mr. Snake? Okay, so he did not flip the switch so that Mr. Wolf could get across the laser beams. What do you think he is up to on the other side of those laser beams? Remember, he's alone with the chickens. So then, finally, after 15 minutes, Mr. Snake flips the switch. He says, "Aha! He's done it." Whoa, it sure is dark in there. Psst, Mr. Snake, where are you? Oh, there you are. Hey, is everything okay? he have something in his mouth? Mr. Snake, what are you doing over there in the dark behind all those empty cages? Oh no. Look, the cages are empty and there's Mr. Snake on the ground. Oh, this doesn't sound good. And Mr. Snake says, Mr. Wolf says, you sound funny, man. Are you okay? Oh, wait a minute. You didn't. Snake, what did you do? And he says, look at his belly, guys. Oh no, what did he do? What's in there? Oh my stars, are you full of chickens? All right, he's full of chickens. Look at Mr. Wolf. He's so upset. I'm upset too. And all of a sudden, the two gorilla security guards said, hey, you two, freeze. Uh-oh. Mr. Wolf said, oh, I don't think so. Snake, you are not going to ruin this plan. No, you are not. The snake said, huh? Remember in the last book when he took him and he twirled him around? And things flew out of his mouth, whatever he ate. Remember that? And so this time he takes him, he says, no, you are not. And he twirls them all around really fast over here. Look. And he says, you cough them up. And out come all the chickens. And they fly right near the two security guards. And they clonk them in the head. Bonk, bonk. Is that too funny, guys? Mr. Snake ate a lot of chickens, didn't he? Mr. Wolf was so angry, and he looked at Mr. Snake and said, I trusted you. How could you do something so awful? I'm a snake, man. What did you expect? He says, no, Mr. Snake, you are a good guy. And you're not leaving this building without 10,000 healthy and happy chickens. Every single fluffy one of them. Are you feeling me? That is the end of chapter 7. There they are. Look, when the chickens flew, they knocked the two security guards down. And now the chickens are running around. And Wolf is really angry at Snake for having eaten the chickens. And he says, you are not going to act like this because you are a good guy and you're not going to ruin this plan. All right, chapter 8 is called Whole Lot of Chicken. So we're back to where Mr. Piranha is inside the sandwich. And he's about to be eaten by the other security guard who is eating his lunch. And so he puts the sandwich up to his mouth and Mr. Piranha says, ah, caramba, this is the end, amigos. And all of a sudden they get interrupted by another security guard who says, hey, Clive, one of the chickens escaped, but we have managed to catch him. He said, what? All right, there they are. Okay, there's Mr. Piranha, was about to be eaten, but now he got interrupted. He has another chance. And then remember, Mr. Shark was given a lot of feathers and was told to dress up. Yeah, you guessed it, as a chicken. And the security guard says, wow, that's one big chicken. And he says, yeah, I wonder how it got out. Look at him dressed up. Is that too funny? He's hilarious. He said, who knows? But let's get it back down to the cages. And the other guy says, oh, sorry, I interrupted your lunch. And he says, oh, that's okay. I can eat it on the run. Oh, no, look. Is he going to eat Mr. Piranha? I don't know. And he starts to munch. And Mr. Piranha says, hey, Chico, what's up? And he says, Clive, your sword is alive. And he says, sardine? That's it, man. Remember how Mr. Piranha hates to be called a sardine? He says, sardine? That is it, man. Now this little sandwich is going to eat you. And the security guards go running away. And he says, yeah, I'm your worst nightmare. I'm a piranha burger with extra spice. And then he sees Mr. Shark and he says, Mr. Shark, is that you? And he goes, yep. All right, so this is where they get scared and they run away. And then he sees Shark dressed up as a chicken. Says, wow, I barely recognized you. He says, yeah, I know. I'm good at disguises. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And he says, oh no, they've set off the alarm. Whoop, 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 whoop. But Wolf and Snake will be trapped, said Mr. Shark. And then Legs comes along and he says, guys, it's Legs. Get out of there. They're coming for you. Whoop, 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 whoop. Mr. Piranha says, we're not leaving without our chicos. And Mr. Shark says, or our chickens. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And Mr. Wolf says, they're back down to the chicken coop. The alarm! We have to hurry! Look at Snake's face. Oh my goodness, all he wants to do is eat those chickens. And Mr. Snake says, we've opened the cages, but they won't run. What's wrong with these stupid chickens? Mr. Wolf said, they're scared. Mr. Snake said, of what? And he said, of the creep who tried to eat them. He goes, I couldn't help it. I'm sorry. He says, yeah, well, sorry won't help us now, Mr. Snake. What are we going to do? The chickens are terrified. They need someone to follow. They need someone to trust. They need... What do you think they need? Someone to follow, someone to trust. Do you think it's Snake? They need a mother hen who is dressed up. That's right, the shark. They need a mother hen. Look. Do you think they'll follow him and think that's their mom? Mr. Snake said, wow, that's one big chicken. And Mr. Shark, who's dressed up as a chicken, says, all right, girls, I know you're scared, but this is our one chance to get out of this horrible place. Do you understand? And they all come out and look at him. Good, then let's get out of here. Run, little chickies, run, said Mr. Piranha. Look, they're all following Mr. Shark, who they think is the mother hen. Mr. Wolf said, Mr. Piranha, you're here. Oh my goodness, are you okay? And he says, I'm completely coated in mayonnaise. Mr. Wolf says, oh, I see. He said, it's not too bad, actually. I kind of like it. And then it says, danger. The door is closing. And so there's a beeping sound. It's like warning them that the door is closing. And he says, oh no, they're locking us in. So the security guards, see them up here? They're onto them and they're going to shut this door and not let Mr. Shark, Mr. Hen, get out with the chickens. Run! So Mr. Wolf and Mr. Piranha and Mr. Snake are running to try to beat that closed door. And Mr. Wolf says, wait, look, it's that guy up there. We'll never stop him in time. And it's flashing. Door closing, door closing, door closing. See the security guard at the top? Mr. Wolf says, we're trapped. Mr. Piranha says, this is the end. Mr. Shark said, my chickens will never be free. And Mr. Snake says, not if I can help it. Do you think we can trust him to do anything good? He said, "Throw me at him. It's your only chance." Mr. Wolf says, "That is the craziest thing I've ever heard." Mr. Snake said, "This is my chance to do some good, Mr. Wolf." Mr. Wolf said, "But," he says, "throw me now or these chickens will never be free. Do it. And don't miss. You got it?" He says, "Got it." So he starts twirling him in the air again. He gets twirled around so much that Mr. Snake, look at him. Oh. And he flings them. And he goes flying right toward the security guard. And then he lands around his neck and he says, "Hi, let's play a game. The first person to open the door doesn't get bitten by a snake." And the security guard says, "You win." And so the door goes back up. And Mr. Shark, dressed up as Mr. Hen, says, "Follow me, ladies." All right, the door went back up and they're able to get out with the chickens. Look at all those chickens. So Mr. Snake did do a good thing. Mr. Snake said, "Now, can I ask you please lock all the guards in behind us after we leave? Oh, and if you don't, I will find you. I'll find out where you live, and you will find me in your bed in the middle of the night. Do we have a deal?" And the security guard said, "Yes, we do." And Mr. Wolf said, "Marvelous! You did marvelous!" And Mr. Snake said, "See, you're not the only good guy around here." And they hug each other. And Mr. Wolf said, "I knew it, I knew it, I knew it." Mr. Snake said, "Okay, less hugs and more escaping." This is the last chapter in the book, chapter 9. It's called What a Team. So Mr. Wolf, they're all together again, and Mr. Wolf says, "I am so proud of you guys. 10,000 chickens are free because of you." And Mr. Wolf said, "I think we're starting to get the hang of this hero thing, fellas. And that means you too, Mr. Snake." And he said, Huggy Bear, okay, let's not make a great big hairy deal out of it." And Mr. Wolf said, "Oh, sure thing, you old grouch. Let's get out of here." "But wait, what happened to the car?" Remember the car that Mr. Wolf drives? Look at it. And Mr. Legs said, "Oh yeah, well, I was waiting for your guys to get back. I fitted it with monster truck tires and a jet engine. I hope you don't mind." And Snake and Piranha said, "We don't mind." He said, "Oh, and I noticed that you seemed a little cramped in there, Mr. Shark, so I've modified your seat. If you don't like it, I can always put it back the way it was." And Shark said, I love it, Legs. You're very thoughtful. Thank you." And he climbs on Mr. Shark, who's terrified of him, and says, "Anytime, Mr. Shark, anytime at all." And Mr. Shark's like, "I'm breathing. It's all good. I'm breathing. It's all good. I'm breathing. It's all good." And then they hear a squeak, and Snake says, "Hey, did anybody else hear that? What do you think the squeaking noise is?" And then there's a crack, a big crack, and a big squeak, and he says, "It seems to be coming from that creepy old house next to the chicken farm that we somehow didn't notice. Perhaps it's a chicken that's lost its way." And Piranha said, "I didn't know chickens could squeak." And Wolf said, "Nope, my mistake. There's nothing here. It's empty." And Piranha said, "Well, no, it's not completely empty. Look." And they're all looking inside. What do you think it is? What do you think's making that noise? Piranha said, I think he's named Marmalade. Cute, isn't it? And Wolf says, well, Marmalade, we are the Good Guys Club, and we have come to set you free. You take care, little Marmalade, and enjoy your freedom. See you, little guy. And the guinea pig said, good guys? He's not so sure they're good guys. Good guys? And just because they call themselves good guys, they think they can break into my chicken farm and set my chickens free? And they think they can get away with it? Well, we'll see about that. I shall make them pay. Oh yes, I shall make them pay. Oh no. And he said, boy, did these guys mess with the wrong guinea pig. See what happens when the bad guys get captured by a really bad guy? How will they escape from this evil lair? Who is that mysterious ninja that seems to be following them? And when will they all start trying to eat each other? Don't miss their next So Funny, You'll Wet Your Pants adventure, The Bad Guys and the Furball Strikes Back. The bad guys are about to have a really bad day. Okay, so that's a little preview for book 3. And I'll come back next week and we will start our book 3, and I'll read the first 2 chapters, and then it'll get posted, and then you can read the rest of the book as you have time or as you wish. So I hope you have enjoyed book 2, The Bad Guys, Mission Unpluckable. All right, I will see you next time. Thanks so much for tuning in.